Welcome to Resilient Minds and Relationships, the podcast dedicated to exploring connection, healing, and growth.
Hosted by Catherine Fell, licensed professional counselor, national certified counselor, and certified sex addiction therapist. This podcast dives into real conversations about strengthening relationships, navigating challenges, and building emotional resilience.
Catherine and her team provide expert insights and practical tools to help you improve communication, heal from betrayal, and deepen intimacy.
Tune in each week to gain powerful strategies, fresh perspectives, and actionable steps to create the thriving relationship you deserve.
Start your journey towards stronger, healthier connections today.
Hey friends, and welcome back to Resilient Minds and Relationships, where we get real about love, connection, and all the messy, beautiful moments in between. I'm Catherine Fell, licensed professional counselor, national certified counselor, and certified sex addictions therapist. And today we're talking about something that so many couples struggle with, and that is staying connected when life feels like a non-stop circus. If you're in a season where you and your partner barely have time to finish a cup of coffee, let alone plan a romantic getaway, please know you are not alone in this. Parenting, work, keeping tiny humans alive, remembering to feed yourself, the mental load that never ends, it is a lot. And in the middle of it all, connection can feel like just one more thing on the to-do list that never gets checked off. But here's the good news, guys. You don't need hours of alone time to reconnect. You don't even need a babysitter. I know, that seems far-fetched, but hear me out. You don't even need a date night. Again, I know, sounds awkward. Hang in there with me. What you need is small, intentional moments woven into the life you already have. In today's episode, we're going to be breaking down the biggest barriers to connection when raising kids and why that feels so hard to overcome, how to bring intimacy back into your daily routine without adding stress to your plate, some simple no-prep rituals that take less than 10 minutes, and what to do when you're feeling completely disconnected and don't even have the energy to, quote, fix it. By the end of this episode, my hope is that you will walk away with real-life practical tools that actually fit into your busy schedule, so you can go from feeling like co-parents passing in the night to feeling like a team again. Sound like a good idea? Let's dive in. So, why is staying connected so hard right now? Well, let's be real. Keeping a relationship strong in the middle of diaper changes, tantrums, school drop-offs, and late-night email catch-ups is no joke. I hear this from couples all the time. We don't even fight. We don't even feel close anymore. I've heard, we're so busy taking care of everything else that our relationship is last on the list. I've even heard, when we finally get a moment to ourselves, we are too exhausted to do anything about it. Sound familiar? Let's break it down. Barrier number 1, exhaustion is real. When was the last time you truly felt rested? Can't remember? Yeah, me neither. When you're constantly on as a parent, by the time you get a quiet moment, the only thing you have energy for is, sadly, scrolling your phone mindlessly or passing out on the couch. Barrier number 2, the never-ending to-do list. Work, house chores, keeping the humans alive, going here, going there, making sure you answered that email, making sure you replied back to this person, making sure we have everything we need to even cook dinner. There's always something that needs to get done. Even when you do have a second, that mental load sadly doesn't get to turn off. Barrier number 3, and this is a big one for a lot of people I work with, no babysitters, which means no alone time. Not everyone has a family nearby or the luxury of a babysitter on speed dial. And let's be honest, even when you do have a date night, you're sometimes still too tired to enjoy it. Barrier number 4, emotional disconnection that actually sneaks up on you. At some point, have your conversations gone from, how was your day, to, did you pay the electric bill? What time is soccer practice? Instead of deep conversations, it's logistics. And when you don't make time for emotional check-ins, you start feeling like roommates instead of partners. If this pattern keeps going, you might start wondering, are we drifting apart? Are we just parents now? Where did us go? Is this just what happens after you have kids? And this is why I want to get simple solutions put into your back pocket, if you will, so that you can work on reconnection. There are small, no-stress ways to connect, even if you're exhausted. The first one, the 5-minute daily check-in. You don't have to have hour-long deep talks. One small question can shift the entire energy of a conversation between partners. Instead of asking how your day was, try what's one thing that made you smile today? What was the hardest part of your day? What's one way I can support you this week? When couples stop asking meaningful questions, they stop feeling emotionally seen. Asking these types of questions brings the connection back without forcing a heavy conversation. Because again, we want to make space for being tired, but we want to show to our partner that we're willing to be connected. Next is the 6-second rule for physical touch. Research has shown that a 6-second kiss or a lingering hug actually releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Instead of rushed physical interactions, try a lingering hug before heading out the door. Try a real kiss, not just a peck when you reunite at the end of your day. Try holding hands while watching TV instead of sitting on opposite ends of the couch or sitting on opposite ends of the couch on your cell phone. When your body remembers connection, your brain, even though exhausted, will go back to feeling that connection with the partner instead of thinking the only way it's going to get released from its day is to disconnect from the world around it. The third, the micro date strategy. Now, this is one of my favorites because a lot of times I will tell couples I work with, look, I'm not expecting you guys to go to a big fancy steak dinner somewhere, pay some overpriced cost for it, and then stare at each other awkwardly for 45 minutes, not knowing what to say. This is the way we can handle this. If you don't have time for a real date night, as they say, try these quick and easy at-home connection moments. First one could be morning coffee together. This happens to be one of my personal favorites. Just 5 minutes of sitting together, eyeball to eyeball, and having a conversation. Doesn't have to be a deep, emotional type of conversation, but just speaking to one another. You can try TV snuggle sessions, cuddling up, again, instead of sitting on opposite ends of the couch. This is another personal favorite of mine, kitchen slow dancing. When you're cooking dinner, before you're going to bed, whenever that may be when you're around the kitchen time. Mine seems to be intermittent with anything else going on in the day. Have a song before bed. If you want to get the littles involved, get the littles involved. I even have a sign in my kitchen that says this kitchen's for dancing, which I think most people do because it was a popular sign from a very popular home decor store. Another idea could be late night dessert ideas. Even if it's just Oreos and milk, guys, it's a fun dessert. It's time with each other. It's talking. Because I want you to remember, it's not about how long you spend together. It's about making the time that you are spending together actually count. So let's talk about what if you're too tired to fix the disconnection? I understand. Some days even small efforts feel like too much. And if you're in that place, here's a few things you can do. First, lower the pressure. Connection doesn't have to be grand. It can simply be sitting together in silence. You can verbalize your commitment. Even if you can't fix it, say, I love you, I know we're very busy, but I'm still here for you. Take turns giving each other a break. Sometimes the best way to reconnect is to help your partner recharge. I know personally, I always love when my partner helps me in what I consider teamwork. Hey, can you throw that load of laundry in the dryer for me? I'm on my way out to work. Hey, can you make sure that our daughter gets to dance because I'm busy over here doing this with our son? Little ways of teamwork. Give each other a great break and help each other be seen. Okay, so what if this feels awkward or unnatural at first? Let's be real, guys. If you haven't been prioritizing connection with your partner for a while, some of these things might feel weird at first. If you and your partner are used to just talking about schedules and responsibilities, suddenly stopping to hold hands on the couch or asking, hey, what made you smile today, might feel forced or even freak your partner out. That's normal. New habits always feel unfamiliar in the beginning. But here's the thing. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's just about showing up and doing them. Because over time, these little shifts start to feel natural. They remind you both that your relationship is more than just parenting or running a household. They help bring back that warmth, that intimacy, and that feeling of being in this together. If you're wondering how to introduce these changes to your partner without it feeling awkward or confusing, you could try something like this. Hey, I listened to this podcast today and this lady was talking about staying connected when life's overwhelming, and it really hit home. I realized I miss feeling close to you. I'd love to try some of the things that she mentioned that could help bring us close together. Can we start with something simple like asking each other one meaningful question each day? Now, if humor is more of your style and you're not that formal, which most of us are not that formal, you could say, okay, so apparently this 6-second kiss thing releases some kind of bonding hormone. It'll help us feel more connected. You want to try it for science? The goal is to keep it light, pressured free, and about reconnecting in a way that feels good for both of you. So look, I know life is demanding. Parenting, work, and responsibilities take so much out of all of us at the end of the day. And it feels like there's nothing left to give. But here's what I want you to remember. Connection isn't about having more time. Again, it's about how you use the time you already have. Your relationship doesn't have to get lost in the chaos of parenthood. Small moments, a knowing glance, 6-second kiss, late night snack together, those are all things that can keep love alive. So if you're feeling disconnected right now, don't panic. You don't need a grand gesture to fix it. You just need one small act of connection. So here's my challenge for you. Before you end your day, choose one thing from this episode and try it. Hug your partner a little bit longer. Ask them what's one thing that made them smile today. Hold their hand while watching TV together. That's it. One simple shift. Start there. And if you want more support on building a stronger relationship, even when life is busy, join my monthly newsletter. Every month, I send out fresh insights, relationship tools, and exclusive resources to help you stay connected with your partner no matter what season of life you're in. You can sign up at www.resilient-minded.com to get practical, real-life advice straight to your inbox. And hey, if this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. DM me on Instagram at resilient_mind_counseling and tell me what connection habit you're trying this week. If this episode helped you, subscribe, share it with a friend, and keep showing up for each other. Because even in the busiest season of life, your love deserves to be nurtured. Until next time, keep taking care of one another and make each small moment count.